Hi everyone, today we will talk about Power Query again. I'm going to show you a solution to a common problem, which is combining two different tables together. Here I have a sales table that records the sales of each store by date. We have transaction count, units sold, and net sales here. On the other table, we have traffic data in the granularity of date and store. Nevertheless, traffic data is not available for all stores. For example, we have only traffic data for store A, C, and G here. But in my sales table, I have store A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, that is 8 stores in total. Out of which only 3 stores have traffic data. If you know about VLOOKUP or Power Query, you may think this will be an easy task because you can use VLOOKUP or one left outer join merge in Power Query to do the task. However, we have a problem here. Let's look here. On the 1st of January, we have traffic data for store A, which can be mapped to the sales table easily. But look at the second record. On the 2nd of January, we do not have the corresponding mapping in the sales table, so we cannot map that to the sales table there, because store A did not generate any sales on that date. Therefore, we do not have a corresponding record for mapping the traffic data to it. For the same reason, we can see that traffic data on the 4th of January cannot be mapped. As you see, there are 2 traffic data for store A that cannot be mapped. Same case for store C. This is not ideal. We do not want to mix any traffic data in the merge. What we want is a table like this. We want a fully joined. For those traffic data with no corresponding sales, they should be part of the output like here, and we should have zeros for those sales attributes even though they do not have sales, to indicate that we had visitor but no sales for the date for the store. We need to display that row in the output table. Same case here and here. This is the Power Query challenge we are going to solve today. Let's watch it in action. I have turned the 2 tables into Excel table already. I named them as sales and traffic respectively. I can load them into Power Query right away. Go to Data tab, click from Table and Range. Now the Power Query editor is opened. See, the query name is assigned automatically as the table name. All the data is loaded and the data type is detected correctly, except date, which gives me the time portion. I do not need the time portion, so I change it to date, replace current. Now I can close a node and load it to a worksheet or to a collection. And I will need to load the traffic data to the Power Query next. Usually, we will leave the Power Query editor for that. Indeed, we do not have to. Let me show you the trick. I will duplicate the sales queries, relink it to traffic. Remove the step of change types here. What is left now is the source. Look at the formula bar. We can see that the source is a table called sales. Now I change it to traffic. This is how I get the traffic table without close and load action for each query created. Again, let's change this data type to date. The data type for the other 2 columns are fine. We now have 2 tables loaded. We now have sales table. We can merge them together right now. Go to the sales table, go to Home tab, Merge Queries. My current table is the sales table, which is our left table. I want to map the table based on date and store. The lookup table is the traffic table. The mapping columns are also date and stored in order. The default join type is left outer. Power Query found that there are 17 out of 52 records matched. Good. But if we click the pull-down menu, you will see different join types. One of them is full outer join, which you may think should be a better option, as this is exactly what we want to do. Let's see if it works or not. Now we have that all 52 records in sales table returned a table as a result. We can see that there is one record in all the table, be it now or a row of data. Remember, some stores do not have traffic data. That's why we see node in some of the result, which is normal. Now look at the first record of row 53. This table contains 4 rows of record. These are the records where we have traffic but no sales. That's cool. What's the problem? Let's expand it columns to see. I need just the traffic in. Okay. It looks fine. We have all the traffic data mapped, node for node. All the way down to the bottom, I see the 4 traffic record with no sales. Seems there is no problem. Node, there is one. I don't have any information here. I have no idea what is the number 168 is coming from, which date. So this outer join does not provide what I want. Wait, let's go back one step. Expand. Here. What if I select the store and the date too? Let's see what is happening as a result. Okay. The result is 2 additional columns, date and store, for what I had selected. Although now I know that the traffic data 168 is coming from store 8 on the 2nd of January, and also the rest of the record. However, these 2 extra columns give me another headache. How can I combine these duplicated columns into one? How can I combine these 2 columns of stores? Obviously, we do not want 2 columns for the same attributes. We do not want 2 columns for store. This is no good. That's why I'm going to show you another approach to do the full join, though it requires extra steps. Let's remove the last 2 steps, so it is basically the sales table here. Firstly, I do the left outer join as usual. Select the sales query, go to the Home tab, Merge Queries, select date and store on the first table, map it with traffic table, select date and store in order for mapping. The default type is left outer join. Okay. Now expand the traffic column. Okay. Now I have mapped the traffic data based on the sales record. The next step is to identify if there are traffic data with low sales data. To achieve this, I need a helper table. Let's right-click on it. Now I duplicate the sales queries. Let's rename it to traffic record with no sales. I don't need the final 2 steps in the query. Let's click here, click there, remove them. Now we have an unadded sales table again. I'm going to merge it with the traffic query. Go to Home, Merge Queries. Again, on this left table, select Date and Store. map it with the traffic query according to date and store. This time I select white empty as the join count. White empty means rows only in the second. That means the date and store appears on the traffic table only. Let's look at the result. There is only one row of record. What we did was a white empty, which means to map records only from the second table, the traffic table. That's why no record from the sales table is returned. When I click here to see the table mapped, I see the full record where I have traffic but no sales. Now what we need to do is to expand it. Move your mouse on top of it and then click. Wow! We now have the traffic records with no sales. Let's go back to the sales queries where we have the traffic data mapped. Now I will do the append queries. Go to the Home tab, Append Queries. Select the table I want to append to, which is the traffic record with no sales. OK. Let's scroll to the end of the table. There we see the full record with traffic only appended, with the date and store columns correctly placed. The corresponding sales attributes are showing null. We may use replace value to change null to 0. Now select the 3 columns. Go to Transform tab, Replace Values. Input null here and replace with 0 here. OK. See, they are zeros now, but now we can sort the columns. Sort by date, then sort by store, then sort by date. Now we have a fully joined table, including record of traffic with no sales. The query name sales is not reflecting the result. Let's rename it to sales traffic combined. This is our output. Now we can close the query, select Close and No To. Select only Create Connection. Why I No to connection only? Because we have created 3 queries. If I select Load to Table, the 3 queries will be loaded to 3 separate worksheets. I don't want to load the query that I don't need. What I need is only this query. So now I can right-click on it, select Load to. This time I load it to a table. Also specifying the location. OK. Here we go, as simple as this. As usual, we should pass the result by adding new data. Assume I have data for store I with only 4 records of sales. Let's copy and paste it to the end of the sales table. For the traffic data, this store has 7 records of traffic. Copy and paste it to the traffic table. Now on the output table, right-click, refresh. Dun 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 dun. It is done. Power Query is simply awesome.